NKTelco Sports welcomes you to Minster, Ohio, where the new Knoxville Rangers take on the Minster Wildcats. This game brought to you by Minster Bank, Keyhole Pizza, 21st Century Kitchens, Elmwood Assisted Living, Schwieterman Pharmacy, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, NKTelco, Francis Furniture, St. Mary's Trucking, Cy Schwieterman, West Staff, Radio Hospital, First National Bank, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. This is an NKTelco Sports production.
Hello and welcome to Tournament Volleyball here on NKTelco Sports. Along with Jeff Henshin, I'm Dave Kanapke. Tonight we're at Minster High School. We're a sectional final between the Minster Wildcats and the Knoxville Rangers. Knoxville Rangers, Jeff, 12-11 on the season, coming off a tournament win over Lima Temple Christian on Tuesday. They had a tough stretch towards the end of the season, but of late they've won 3 of their last 4 games.
Yeah, they lost 5 later part of the season, have now won 3 of 4, and took care of business on Tuesday night. Being a higher seed, did what they had to do, go in and dominate, and they defeated Lima Temple Christian very easily in straight sets. Everybody played, and Coach Webb's team played very clean. And again, they did what they had to do in that type of situation.
Minster, the number 3 seed, 14-8 overall, 3-6 in the MAC. They finished the season very strong, winning 7 of the last 9.
Yeah, they finished strong again, peaking when you want to be playing your best volleyball. They've battled and they've earned the higher seed tonight, so they get another home game. These two teams played each other back on October 6th. Minster victorious, so Minster looks to defend and win this important sectional finals, and Minster, New Knoxville that is, will have a little revenge factor to try to earn their sectional title.
Should be a good one. Local rivalry, sectional final, Minster New Knoxville. We'll be right back with the starting lineups here on NKTelco Sports.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
There's a lot of early mornings that go into 40 years of service, a lot of miles on these tires, and millions of pounds of cargo have traveled in these trailers. It's about dependable service, the kind of service that shows up 30 minutes early every time, that gets your products, cargo, and business from point A to point B safely, quickly, and efficiently. We are St. Mary's Trucking, traveling the roads of commerce in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky. Men and women who produce the solutions that make your business grow, because the most important thing to them is you.
Welcome back. We're getting ready for the starting lineups for both teams. Now the starters for New Knoxville. Faith Holman. You see him go ahead. Number 2, Kenzie Schreier. 5, Ashlyn Miller. 7, Shayna Bierlein. 9, Jenna Schwierdeman. 14, Tasia Lau. And 15, Taylor Doty. Head coach of the Rangers, Kay Webb. Knoxville, number 6 rated team in this district, coming off a win over Lima Temple Christian, 12-11 overall. They go through the non-starters for the Wildcats. Wildcats are 14-8 overall, the identical 3-6 in the MAC, ranked number 13 in the state in Division 4. So should be a good battle. These two teams played just 2 weeks ago. A couple of games were very close. We'll mention that as we go. The starters, Haley Boimer, the setter, as they step ahead. Jordan Heibrich, number 3. Number 5, Paige Purdy. Sarah Riplow, number 6. 9, Paige Toby. 10, Carly Barhorst. 50, Rosie Westerbeck. Head coach of the Wildcats, Cammie Garman, in her 6th year. Danielle Bornhorst is her assistant. So Jeff, while we got a minute, let's talk about our keys to the game, brought to you by Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Salina, where the dealer makes a difference. Let's first start with the Rangers.
Well, they need to be road ready. Coach Webb's been a little bit disappointed here as late as their performance on the road. They don't come ready to play. She hopes that she's told her team to get ready now. This is do or die. They need to be ready here on the road and also control the net. Be active, getting good touches on the Minster attack. Slow down the Minster offense so that New Knoxville's offense can get in the system and go to work. And for the Minster Wildcats, need to serve aggressively. They've served very well this year, and if they can serve aggressively and force New Knoxville into some bad first touches, that can cause New Knoxville offense not to get in rhythm and make it a little bit easier for the Wildcats. And also, play consistently. All aspects of the game. Don't commit the dumb errors. Play hard, swing with confidence. You're the higher seed. You beat New Knoxville once. Go in with the confidence and take care of business.
Again, those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Bud's, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Salina, where the dealer makes the difference. These two teams played 2 weeks ago. Games were 25-23, 25-17, and 25-23. So two of them by the closest of margins. And both in that whole match, it seemed like New Knoxville started slow, and they tried to catch up but just ran out of gas. So we'll see if that repeats itself. The rematches are never the same as the original, so we'll see. I'm sure it'll be a good match here tonight. Served by Minster, hit by Beerline. Point for the Rangers.
New Knoxville able to get in the system right away. Shayna Beerline leads the squad with 3.2 kills a set. She has a .208 hitting percentage, and New Knoxville off to a quick start here in this match.
Kenzie Schreier with the serve dug by Purdy. Looks like it'll have to be free balled across by Heitbrink, and that's way too deep. 2-0 Rangers.
Unforced, actually it's a hitting error, but just one that I'm sure Heitbrink could hit those 100 times, and 99 of them would find somewhere in bounds. That one travels long.
Schreier serve, dug this time by Riplow. They'll go over to Westerbeck, dug by Holman. Schreier will do back set to Doty. Saved and bumped over. Chance for the Rangers on the free ball. Schreier will go over to Beerline with a kill. Shayna Beerline with 2 kills early in this match.
New Knoxville more aggressive here, especially that possession. Minster able to keep it alive, but again, another free ball, and that's something that if you're an offensive or a team at these levels now, free balls can be dangerous because the other team can get an offense very quickly.
Heitbrink from the back row, too long. Now 4-0 New Knoxville on our First National Bank scoreboard. Kenzie Schreier serving, MAC first team. Mentioned some of the other ones that made the team from these two teams. They always tough MAC conference. Westerbeck with a hit, partially blocked. Schreier goes back set to Doty and a kill.
Doty got the touch on the attack. Schreier fed her back with the back set and possibly would have gone long. Minster went ahead and played it. Doty gets the kill, her first of the night. She's averaging just over 1 kill a set. Getting some more playing time now that Caitlin Lammer's out for the season with an injury.
Slide play, and Toby hammers it down. It's been an effective play for the Wildcats all season, at least in the 3 or 4 matches that I've seen.
I think slides, if they're run appropriately like that one, for whatever reason, very difficult to stop. I don't know if people just aren't ready for it, or I think it's maybe because they're hitting at an angle and all the touches, you get it blocked down versus going straight at them. But a good play it was. A service there, though, gives the ball and the point right back to New Knoxville.
Faith Homan, she made honorable mention the MAC. The teams were just announced on Tuesday. And there's a ace. Little miscommunication in the back row, and Homan found the corner.
Homan, that's her 13th ace on the season, serving at 98% on the season. She's had 6 service errors. Mainly known for her defense, being a libero. She averages 6 digs a game as well as 6 serve receptions a game. So she's been a very important part of the Ranger squad.
Tried to do the slide play to Toby, this time into the net, now 8-1.
Well, a rough start for the Wildcats. They've come out a little shell-shocked, especially when you see those long attacks going long, just maybe a little bit too much adrenaline and can't quite get their confidence down.
Toby with a hit that dug by Holman. Over to Beerline, block down on the blockers. Point for Shayna Beerline.
Everything going well for New Knoxville. They're getting good touches on defense, and their attacks, even if they're touched at the net by the Wildcats, they're finding a way through and finding their way to pay dirt on the Minster Wildcat side.
9-1 New Knoxville. Heitbrink down the line for the point.
A much-needed break there, Dave, and Heitbrink comes up big. She leads the Minster Wildcats. Just under 4 kills a set for Jordan Heitbrink.
Carly Barhorst rotates into the front row as the other middle hitter, Paige Toby, rotates back to serve. Down 9-2. Toby's second team All-MAC. Hit by Louth. Schreier back set to beer line. Nice save there by the Wildcats. They'll go over to Heitbrink. She dinks it and it's blocked back. Schwierdeman along with Louth. I think Schwierdeman got more of it for the block.
Good dual block. Both the girls get the block assist. And again, New Knoxville playing very clean. Have not committed an error yet. And they're getting all the, the loose balls are falling through and the blocks are going down for point.
Barhorst with a hit. Dug by Beerline. They'll go to Miller. Partially blocked at the net. Boimer will set it over to Heitbrink with a kill. Jordan Heitbrink, first team All-MAC with a kill.
Her second of the set here, basically back-to-back. Again, averaging just under 4 kills a game is Jordan Heitbrink. A .203 hitting percentage. They need her to get going. They have a lot of girls, though, that average 1 to 3 kills a set. They're all seem like they got a lot of weapons that they can use. Heitbrink just the one with the most kills per set.
Miller not able to hit it over. So back-to-back point for the Wildcats. Yeah, a very balanced attack for the Wildcats. More than, of course, Heitbrink, their biggest weapon, but a lot of other weapons as well. Short serve, and that'll fall. Good mix-up there by the setter, Haley Boimer. Boimer honorable mention in the MAC.
Boimer's serving at 96% accuracy. That's her 21st service ace of the season. And Minster's quickly, Dave, cut this lead in half, 10-5.
Free ball to cross. Purdy will set Heitbrink off the block, dug by Holman, close to the net. Schreier does a nice job, but they will call a lift. That's always a danger when the setter has to go a little bit close to the net.
And try to bring it back.
Bring it back, and the referee was right on top of the call.
It was 10-1, I'm pretty sure, when Boimer went back to serve, Dave. Now, I think 5 unanswered by the Wildcats.
Louth with a kill. Tasia Louth steps up and hammers it home.
5'8" sophomore, big play there as she stops the Minster offense temporarily. She averages just over a kill a set.
Senior Jenna Schwierdeman. Over to Reagan Webker with a kill. Webker usually hits from the right side with a kill from the left side.
Nonetheless, right or left, a big swing for Reagan Webker Jr. Doesn't average a lot of kills per set, but a big one there to keep her team just now down by 4.
Jordan Heitbrink backs to serve. Puts Westerbeck in the front row. Back set by Beerline and Louth with a kill. Great back set by Shayna Beerline, a girl who doesn't set a whole lot.
She doesn't set a lot, but she has set some. She averages just over an assist a game. Had a beautiful back set. Tasia Louth back-to-back kills in her past 2 opportunities.
Kaylin Janes in to serve. Dug by Purdy. Close to the net. Dink by Barhorst, and it falls. Nice job there by the setter, Boimer, and Barhorst to stay out of the net and get a point.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Don't commit the obvious error or the violation and keep it alive. That time, Carly Barhorst, her first kill of the set. She averages 1.5 kills per set. Wildcats still trail by 4.
Schreier with a big hit, dug and the other way by Purdy. James will set Schreier off the block. There's Purdy again. They'll go back row to Heitbrink. James will set to Doty. Battle the net now on the Wildcat side. Hit by Westerbeck. James does a nice job of out of the net, but she went underneath, and a point for the Cats.
Yeah, nice play. James doing the right thing, bouncing almost off the net to try to keep it alive, but the foot violation, I believe, was caught. As close as now Minster, or Dave, the Minster has been at just 3 points.
Dink by Schreier. Boimer covers it. Right side, Whipker blocked back. Able to keep it alive from the back row. Nice block by Doty. Be a violation lift against the Wildcats.
Doty won't get credit for the block, but she had an excellent time touch as I believe it was Heitbrink from the back row. Doty put it back, and Doty, one of the team leaders in blocks, averaging just over a block per set.
Whipker. Saved by Schreier. Bumped across by Beerline. Chance for the Wildcats. In the middle, Toby, and that will fall. Paige Toby with a big hit that time for the middle.
Well, New Knoxville found themselves playing on defense and did a super job, but the free ball ultimately led to that setup, and an excellent kill. A lot of velocity for Paige Tobey on that attack. Back to a 3-point deficit now for the Wildcats.
She's gotten their offense rolling after a slow start. Beer line dug by Purdy. Boimer will go to Westerbeck off the blockers. Covered. Schreier will try to push it deep. Purdy bumps it. Be bumped across. Free ball for the Rangers. All the way over to Beer line. Off the blockers. They'll go back row. Now back on the Ranger side. And that time, nice block by Tobey as Schreier tried to take it over with the second hit.
I think the scouting report was out. I think Coach Garman made sure her front row knew that Schreier can go as a setter, and Tobey anticipated and timed it perfectly for the termination block.
Back set Doty, dug by Heibrink. Westerbeck, dug by Schruderman. Beer line, the dink, stayed across.
Free ball.
In the middle, Doty, that will be sailed long.
The free ball by Minster didn't really, New Knoxville, I don't think. Oh, touch, so there'll be a touch, but New Knoxville will get the benefit there. I missed the touch. So what I was going to say, I didn't think they got into the system very well, and got a break though on the touch on the block.
We're only halfway through the first set, and you can just feel the intensity already in this game. Both people know it's going to be a tough game, and we are at tournament. Doty off the blocker. Purdy saves it. No one else can chase it down. Taylor Doty credited with the kill.
Her third of the set, and you talked about the ball game. At this rate, we might be here for a while too. So it's one of them games, you know, whether to go 3 or 5, you can really get your money's worth here. And so far, pretty good volleyball. Minster, like you said, has really picked up the pace after a somewhat sluggish, slow start.
Heibrink with a nice kill with free ball across for the Rangers. Chance for the Wildcats in the middle. Tobey down.
Well, a nice set by Boimer, and Tobey's had some very impressive swings. She like a lot of arm length or a nice wind up. She averages just over 2 kills and hits a very good .302 hitting percentage. So a lot of her attacks result in points, and not many errors go along with that.
Just have to, not a real strong hit there by the Rangers. Heibrink will dink it. Beerline covers it. From the back row, Miller blocked by Tobey. We'll go over to Heibrink, partially blocked. Schreier tries to dump it, and Tobey's there again.
Back-to-back termination blocks by Paige Tobey on the setter attack, and timed it well, anticipated Schreier may do that, and that's twice now. Paige Tobey, 2 back-to-back termination blocks.
New Knoxville was ahead like 10-1 or 10-2, and right now Minster's come all the way back within 2. Miller will dig the serve. Beerline down the line. Nice dig. Beerline with another chance. Now Doty off the blocker with a kill.
Doty having a nice game attacking. That's her 4th kill. So the 5'8" sophomore coming up big in that offhand or the right front position. She checks out. Faith Holman into serve.
Up by 3. Heibrink down. Jordan Heibrink gets that running start. She can do that big angle.
Yeah, she had a lot of court. She could go down the line or across court. She chose to go diagonal. Her 3rd kill, again, team leader at just under 4 kills a set.
Substitution of the Wildcats junior Taylor Hoying will check into the game, replacing Rosie Westerbeck in the back row as Paige Tobey serves.
Tobey, 86% server on the season, 29 aces. Coach Garman would like her team to serve aggressively, and once in a while when you do that, Dave, you may make a mistake, but
Louth's hit is blocked out of bounds.
if you can serve aggressively, especially at this level where teams can receive so well, if you lollipop them over, that's almost you're going
to have a hard spike coming right back at you.
So you want to be good, but you want to be aggressive and mixing it up. There's a short one. Doesn't seem like a hard one, but Beerline left it short, played up by the Wildcats.
Holman will do that back bump. Miller will have to hit it flat-footed. Bump over to Heibrink, and the kill. Good hit by Heibrink. Not your typical set, a little bit further away, and she made the most of it.
She records her 4th kill of the set. When we talk about serving, both coaches want to serve well, but both these teams receive, I think, very nicely. New Knoxville 92%, Minster 91%, and that's basically 9 out of every 10 serves they field cleanly.
Lau with a hit, but blocked back. We'll give it to Barhorst. Also Reagan Webker there as well. And we will have a timeout, Rangers. Wildcats have cut the lead within 1. We'll be right back.
Nice. Clear.
Here's the thing. If you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield, why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Schwieterman Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
Set to Whipker, dug by Schreier. Holman will back set it to Miller. Couple blocks. Boymer will have to hit it across on the second hit. Holman back row to Beerline, and that works. Shayna Beerline with a tough hit from the back row, and it works.
Her 4th kill of the set. I'm not sure if Holman wanted to just maybe purposely bumped it back to her teammate. I mean, it worked out nicely, and maybe threw Minster off a bit, seeing that the libero was going to have to bump it, and it turned out to be a nice play by the Rangers.
Short serve has to be free balled across by Minster. Beerline to Lauf, that will sail long. Point for the Cats, tied at 18.
You mentioned that short serve by Schwieterman again. Doesn't always have to be a lot of velocity. That one just clips the tape. Minster struggled to keep it live. New Knoxville, though, on the free ball, hit it long, couldn't quite take advantage of that free ball opportunity.
Substitution, Rosie Heitbrink back into the front row as Jordan Heitbrink back to serve. Beerline chases it down, goes to Schreier in the middle. Purdy, free ball to cross. Beerline will back set Miller, she will dink it. Boymer tried to push it in the corner. Beerline will go over to Schreier, never made it, or
went down on Minster's side.
They went down the blockers there. And a point for the Rangers. They retake the lead. Well, check that. Yes, that's what it is. Looked like a little hesitation between anybody moved.
I think there's a little confusion, like where did the ball really go? It was a hard hit, a quick block, and
I can understand. I was a little confused. It was a quick hit straight down as Kaylin James back to serve. Dug by Westerbeck. She'll get the set back, partially blocked. Beerline will set Schreier. Dug by Boymer. From the back row, Heitbrink. Nice dig there by Schwieterman. Schreier blocked, and that will fall.
Back-to-back kills for Kenzie Schreier, averaging just under 2.5 kills a set, hitting at 228. But boy, she's come up big here now in the front row with 2 kills, give her team a 2-point lead. Knoxville the first one to 20.
Usually a big factor, an ace by James. All the points are big, but at this part of the game, they're very big as they were losing the lead and actually lost it. It was tied a couple times. Now they're stretched it up to 3.
Jane serving at 89% on the season, recorded her 18th service ace.
Boimer back set to Webker down the line. Nice dig by Schwierdeman. Dink by Schreier. Heitbrink will have to push it across. Beerline will set Miller, block back. Boimer has to take the first hit. Purdy will have to set Webker. Dug by Schwierdeman. Be free balled across.
Opportunity for the Wildcats.
Boimer in the front, in the middle there to Barhorst, block back, now on the Minster side. In the back row, Heitbrink. Schreier, dig by Purdy. Good volley going along here. Janes set Doty in the middle, covered by Boimer. Purdy will set Heitbrink from the back row. There's Schwierdeman.
Well, Schwierdeman has a nice job digging tonight as well. She's had her hands on a lot of attacks.
They'll set Westerbeck. Long volley, probably our longest so far, and that will end with a kill by Schreier.
Wow, that was some volleyball, Dave. A lot of attacking. Both teams having to work transition, offense, defense. And again, good pickup not only from Schwierdeman, but Minster Wildcats making some great digs as well. And Schreier wins the point, her third kill of the set.
22-18 in the middle, Barhorst. There's Schwierdeman again. This time Barhorst or Webker was able to kill it.
Webker, number 12.
Okay, two of them right there. As a much needed point for Minster as within three here is Paige Purdy back to serve. Junior libero.
97% server on the season is Purdy, just 6 service errors.
Doty never made it across. The Wildcats make it to 20. Purdy, dug by Schreier, nice high dig. Over to Schreier, nice dig by Purdy. Purdy will have to free ball it, chance for the Rangers. Janes, over to Schreier and down.
Schreier's come up big with her turn in the front row, her 4th kill of the set. Again, nice digs, but that time by Purdy, taking, receiving, if you will, the first attack by Schreier. But a free ball, again, I think led to the Ranger point that time as they were able to get it, get a nice pass, good set, and Schreier again hitting with a lot of confidence here. Gives the Rangers a 3-point cushion with 2 to go.
Ashlyn Miller serving. Boimer, Toby, and another big kill from the middle.
Good timing, good rhythm between Boimer and Toby. Toby now with 4 kills, and boy, tough to stop. Even though you sense it's coming, they went so quick. The cadence was perfect and much needed point for the Wildcats. They get the ball back.
Senior Sarah Riplow substitutes in to serve, dug by Holman. Schreier over to Beerline with a dink, covered by Riplow. Free ball across, chance for the Wildcats. In the middle, Toby again. This time a little bit off the net, but it worked.
Toby leads all players now, 5 kills, and yes, use the tape. Sometimes that makes it much difficult, obviously more difficult to read. Falls right in front of Beerline.
Here's a huge point here. Base is 23-22. We could have a tie game, or Knoxville could be serving game point. And Schreier on the second hit pushes them to game point.
Being in the front row, she elevated, allowed to go above the net to attack. Had been stuffed twice tonight, but that time went vertical and records her 5th kill.
Timeout by Minster. We'll keep it right here. We would like to thank our sponsors for making this telecast possible. Francis Furniture, St. Mary's Trucking, Cy Schwierdeman, West Staff, Radio Hospital, 21st Century Kitchens, Elmwood Assisted Living, Schwierdeman Pharmacies, New Knoxville Supply, Keyhole Pizza, Minster Bank, Minster Dano, NKTelco. Our Players of the Game sponsored by Main Street Station for the New Knoxville player McDonald's and Minster. On our first National Bank scoreboard, it's game serving 22 for the Rangers.
What a great match. Minster got off to a bad start, battled back, took a 1-point lead, and you think, okay, they're going to pull ahead. New Knoxville able to regather themselves and then open up a 3-point lead, and right now a chance to serve to win game number 1.
Schreier did a lot of damage in the front row the last time through.
96% server on the season, 21 aces for Schreier.
Dug by Purdy. Boimer over to Westerbeck. Not a real super hard hit. Doty from the right side, partially blocked. Purdy will set Westerbeck.
Again, a gentle attack, so to speak.
Beer line, and it's in. The New Knoxville Rangers win the first set. Score on the first national scoreboard. New Knoxville 25, Minster 22. Teams will switch sides. We'll switch to commercials and we'll be right back on NKTelco Sports.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications? Or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp to hire basis. West staff, your partner in business.
When you choose Radio Hospital for your wireless needs, you get 13 convenient locations, no waiting and long lines, premier service after the sale, and all the latest technology. With locations in Lima, Findlay, Minster, Kenton, Defiance, Napoleon, Wauseon, Bryan, and Archbold, we are right around the corner from you. Visit us today and experience the Radio Hospital difference. We are simply neighbors serving neighbors, providing a refreshing alternative to high-pressure stores. Radio Hospital is your Verizon Wireless Premium retailer.
First set in the books goes in favor of the New Knoxville Rangers, 25-22. They had jumped out to a 10-1 lead. Minster came all the way back, tied it, had a few ties at 17 and 18. New Knoxville then got a little bit of a rally, pushed it out to a 4-point lead, 22-18. And we went back and forth. Kenzie Schreier had the last service point. Shayna Beerline with the kill that finished it off for the Rangers. So the Rangers, the number 6 seed, draw first blood against the number 3 seed Minster in this game that they know each other quite well. They just played each other 2 weeks ago. And very good first set. I think the statistics will bear it out when Jeff has them all totaled up.
Yeah, both teams, Dave, played really cleanly. And you got to give, even though Minster lost, the way they started out the first set, a lot of errors. They had 5 errors in the game, and probably 4 of them came in the first 5 minutes of action. Some hitting errors. Nonetheless, Minster cleaned it up. They came back, tied it, went ahead by 1, but couldn't hold it on. But New Knoxville, on the other hand, played very cleanly as well. Just 5 errors in the set. Both teams swung hard. We saw a lot of great defensive plays on each side of the net. For the Rangers, Kenzie Schreier, Shayna Beerline each with 5 kills. For Minster, Paige Toby with 5 kills. And Minster, a couple more blocks. They recorded 4 termination blocks in that set, and you don't see that. 4 is a big number. Again, that's blocks for point, and Minster recorded 4 of them in set number 1, but a good set. Interesting night so far.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was, it seemed like most of the points were by kills or good plays, not so much errors. Yeah, maybe early there was, but it was a lot of good plays.
Other than that, there just weren't any lackadaisical errors, I didn't think. I mean, these are 2 good teams, and they played some really good volleyball, I think, from what I know about it, and it was entertaining. And Minster came up short. New Knoxville earns a big win on the road. Again, road ready. Can Coach Webb get her team ready to play on the road?
Yeah, on the road this season in Knoxville, 4-5 on strictly road games with 2-4 in neutral games. So away from the barn, 6-9. At the barn, they're 6-2. So definitely a big difference. Toby with a big swing. That time Miller with the dig. Beerline dug by Purdy. Westerbeck. Holman chases it down. They keep it alive. Boimer in the middle. Toby puts it away.
Again, a good volley, a good sequence. It seemed like Minster, the more aggressive one, getting the better opportunities. Paige Toby records the first kill of the set. Add that on to the 5 she earned in set 1, 6 for the night.
Ripple with the serve short, and it goes off to the side. Winner of this game will play the winner of Marion Local and Lincoln View. That game being played right now at the hangar at Maria Stein. Marion is the number 2 seed. The 2 winners will play the second game at the Van Wert District.
On Tuesday the 6th.
On Tuesday.
Or Tuesday the
25th, I think.
Yeah.
Rangers will have to free ball it across. Purdy in the middle. There's Toby again.
Well, good arm snap. I don't know what the Jugs gun would say there, but she had nice arm swing and snapped it off well. Very difficult to stop when she's hitting it. A lot of topspin.
Toby had that slide play early, but ever since then, all her attacks have been from the middle. Beerline, that'll sail wide. Westerbeck used good judgment and let it go by her.
Beerline sensed again. Minster's been very aggressive, very active at the net. Tried to go around the blockers, and her shot was a good shot, just wide right.
4-0 as Minster, the one this game, off to a good start. Free balled again by the Rangers. Boehmer will dump it across in the second one. Doty blocked straight back. We'll give it to Toby. Westerbeck was there as well. Timeout Rangers. They trail 5-0. We'll be right back on NKTelco Sports.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time homebuyers to families with the pitter-patter of little feet to teenagers taking over the kitchen, 21st Century has what you want, customizing the style, layout, and price point to fit your budget. Kitchens by Craftmade and quality cabinets, countertops by Wilson Art and Cambria, along with availability of granite, marble, and wood.
See what's in store behind the yellow door for your 21st Century Kitchen.
Minster Wildcats started off slow the last set, but jumping off bigger with a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, nice start. 5-0 cushion to start the game. And really, have played really good, barring that 10-1 stretch they got behind and early in game number one. Have come back and put it to them. And Coach Webb taking her timeout and go back to game one. Coach Garman's squad down 10-1. She didn't take a timeout. Her team got a run there where they got it back to 10-5 pretty quick, but never burned a timeout in that 10-1 stretch. Coach Webb takes one here with her team down 5-love.
Doty blocked again. Wildcats getting a lot of blocks tonight. Beerline will dink it. There's Purdy with the dig. All the way over to Westerbeck. Off the blockers with a kill. Rosie Westerbeck with a big swing there.
Her first kill of the night, coming in as one of the leaders for the Wildcats at 2.3 kills per set. Hitting at 246, her first kill of the game.
Schreier will set Beerline. Block back again. Schreier will push it over on two. Boehmer sets Westerbeck with another kill.
The Wildcats on fire now. Everything going well. And again, the net play I think has been really awesome for the Wildcats here. They've got a lot of touches. Now you're seeing New Knoxville try to dink, tap, go on two, which are great opportunities, but you begin to wonder if those blockers, those touches, are kind of creeping into the attacker's head a little bit.
Wildcats up by a touchdown and an extra point, 7-0. Beerline blocked again. In the middle, Doty will dink it. Boehmer timing a little bit off, but the dink worked for Toby.
New Knoxville tries to go finesse a few times, doesn't work out. Toby gets her opportunity, which she'd been pounding the ball. Took a lot off of it, went finesse, and she finds a gap. Just a game of momentum, game of breaks. Right now, Minster enjoying all the success, if you will, of all the breaks in their favor.
Doty blocked again by the Cats. Schreier will take the second one over.
Schreier, her first kill, and much needed. Minster off to a great start, 8-0. New Knoxville finally able to get on the board.
Schreier will now rotate to the back row. First team All-MAC. In the middle, Toby with another swing.
Well, she's got a good system mechanically memorized. All of her attacks, she's hitting downhill. Very tough to defend and has a knack of kind of sensing where that back row is for New Knoxville and dropping it basically right in front of him.
Toby, very tall girl, can jump a lot as well. There's Doty this time off the block with a kill.
Doty had a nice game, Dave, and set one with 4 kills. Gets one to drop here going diagonally. A lot of attacks tonight, especially in game 2, is the straight on attacks for New Knoxville. Seemed like those are the ones being stuffed back or being deflected back. That time Doty goes diagonal, gets the kill.
Heitbrink had never made it across.
First error committed by the Wildcats. New Knoxville also with 1. Both these teams just 5 errors each in game number 1. So again, we're seeing some very good volleyball here.
Nice serve, not able to save it. Give it an ace to Faith Holman. Ripple is able to get her arms just barely underneath it, but not able to get the second and third hits over.
Again, Holman just 6 service errors on the season. Now has 14 aces.
Heitbrink will go to Toby again. And that time it went low, went underneath the net.
Never got across.
So Rangers have put together 4 straight points here.
Very similar to game 1. New Knoxville got ahead 10-1. Next thing you knew, it was like 10-5, 10-6. So New Knoxville with a point here can really cut the deficit in half after trailing 8-0.
Chance off the free ball. Beerline partially blocked. They'll set Heitbrink. Blocked. Purdy will set Heitbrink. She'll dink it. Great topspin, and it falls.
Jordan Heitbrink, pushing the Rangers back on defense for a couple attacks and then going with a changeup. Her first kill of set 2, had 4 in set number 1.
She hasn't really got her hitting going in this set yet. She just rotated to the front row a rotation ago as Toby moves back to the back. Barhorst now in the front. Beerline from the right side, blocked again, but Schwierderman takes the second hit, or the hit off the block, and a nice hit there by Jenna Schwierderman.
Yeah, Schwierderman ready, timed it well. Again, the kill off of the block, so really no assist there. Had to think about that one. Schwierderman, her first kill, but boy, she played a good defensive game in game 1. I heard you mention her name often, and she was busy fielding some big-time shots from the Wildcats.
Barhorst from the middle this time. Carly Barhorst, as the middles have been big for the Wildcats tonight.
Carly Barhorst, now a kill in each set, was part of 2 termination blocks in game number 1. She averages a block a game, so she's been very active for Coach Garman this season, not only with her hitting, but also her defensive presence at 5'10".
Haley Boimer back to serve. One of 6 seniors on this team. A lot of seniors out here. 6 for Minster, 8 for New Knoxville. From the back row, Beerline with a big hit. She had a nice running start there.
Hit it away from the blocker as best she could and got it right in front of corner judge Barb Sotbein.
11-7 is Knoxville making a run after falling behind 8-0. Heitbrink that time with a running hit.
I was going to mention, as I saw Heitbrink finish, the first thing I thought it was very similar to what Beerline did, almost like running forward, really getting a lot of momentum, controlling it, and that just helped the power, if you will, and Heitbrink delivers.
Heitbrink, a 3-year starter.
91%
senior year.
91% server on the season is Heitbrink.
Dinked across there by Schreier. Purdy will bump set. Heitbrink, or Westerbeck. Back set to Miller off the block. Ashley Miller from the right side with a point.
Miller, her first kill of the night, averaging just under 1 kill per set. That time again, that offhand or going right to left, came across court, found an opening. Rangers trail by 4. They were down 8-0, the biggest margin in this game for the Rangers.
Kaylin James serve, just barely able to get across by the Wildcats. Dink by Schreier. Purdy will bump it across. James. Doty will just have to push it. In the middle, Barhorst didn't make it. Side out for a point to the Rangers.
3 hitting errors now in the set for the Wildcats. New Knoxville just the 1 hitting error. And back to a 3-point game, so New Knoxville's clawed their way back.
James with some big service points towards the end of the last set. Westerbeck with a point.
Westerbeck a little quiet offensively in set 1, but very aggressive here in set 2. Now her 3rd kill, also has a block. Wildcats go back up by 4.
Paige Purdy, libero or libero, if you will, in to serve. Dug by Schwierderman. James will chase it down to Schreier. And that will be the kill. Purdy only able to get 1 arm on it.
Schreier now 2 kills in set 2, had 5 in set number 1.
It's 13-10 on our First National Bank scoreboard. First National Bank, think first. Purdy has to come up with a serve. Hit by Toby. Schreier will push it over on 2. Boimer over to Westerbeck, block back. Push deep, but Schruderman's there. Over to Bierlein, down the line and in. Shayna Bierlein's kill brings the Rangers within 2.
Closest New Knoxville's been since it's been 2-0. Bierlein now with 7 kills, 5 of them coming in set 1.
Westerbeck off the block. There's Westerbeck with a big point, I think, for Minster to get the momentum back.
Definitely right. And Westerbeck doing a very highly confident game right now. Had in game 1 finished with a couple soft attacks, but here in game number 2, she's been swinging hard and scoring for the Wildcats. 4 kills for Rosie Westerbeck.
Doty's hit his block, but saved by the Rangers. Now they'll call a lift on the Rangers.
Tough break as kind of a wild series there. New Knoxville trying to keep it alive. Evidently not a clean hit. Big point for Wildcats, now back to 4.
Once again, the blocking for the Minster results in a point. That time a service error. Rare service error that we've had.
Second of the night for the Wildcats. They've had 1 in each game. New Knoxville has yet to commit a service error. New Knoxville serving as a team at 95%. Minster at 94%.
Riplow with the dig. Dink by Toby, and again, a nice job of adjusting there. The set was a little off, and the dink worked.
Mentioned Toby, you mentioned how tall she is, and she jumps well. She's listed at 6 feet tall. Don't really recognize that, but when you realize some of the players she's around, Carly Barhorst is 5'10", Jordan Heibring 5'10". Minster has some very lengthy ladies, and plus with Toby's ability to jump, she even makes herself that much taller.
On the New Knoxville side, Homan with the back bump to Bierlein. She'll try to dink it, and it works. Been a lot of blocking. They've been trying to dink over the blockers. This time she went sideways and found a point.
Yeah, the teams have done so well when they tip over the blockers. There's coverage. We've seen some success when teams really go diagonally and diagonally hard to find that opening.
Boimer, the pass took her into the net.
She just, made a nice play upstairs, but Haley Boimer's feet get under the net, across the line fully, so that's a violation. 2-point lead. It was just a 4-point cushion, and I think you mentioned maybe what a big point this was. New Knoxville earned it, and now back-to-back points for the Rangers, back to 2-point spread.
Toby digging the back row there by Homan. Bierlein is blocked, but it rolls on the Minster side. Bierlein seemed like she took a little bit off there.
Yeah, you'd think if you take it off, it'd be easier to defend, but I tell you what, it's just a game of swings here, a momentum. Minster, it seemed like everything early in the game was going right for them. Now New Knoxville getting the balls on a block to fall down and finding the openings on the Minster defense.
Louth and the kill. We are tied at 16.
For Louth, her first kill of the set number 2. She recorded 3 kills plus a block in set number 1 for the 5'8" sophomore. Big swing for her. She ties it up.
Faith Homan serve, dug by Westerbeck. Heitbrink. Dink will go wide, and the Rangers, who trailed 8-0, now lead.
Good comeback, good communication there. I'm not for sure who called it, but saw the hands go up right away, and good read on that attack. The 4th hitting error of game number 2 for the Wildcats.
In the middle, Toby will have to dink it. In the middle, Schwieterman. Saved by Riplow. Bumped across by Purdy. Chance for the Rangers. Schreier will go back set to Louth. Off the block. 3rd hit over. This time to Bierlein. Saved by Westerbeck. On the Rangers side, Schwieterman wide. Good volley there. Both teams had nice saves to just keep it alive.
Extended volleys is right, and that time Minster a little bit more, probably the result, playing more defense. New Knoxville hitting error ties it back up at 17.
Toby to serve. Schreier will set Bierlein, block back.
That was Louth.
I'm sorry.
Now they'll switch, and Bierlein will come to the left. Louth will go to the right.
Heitbrink partially blocked. Homan Set over to Beerline. Dug by Westerbeck. Boimer has to chase it down. Has to be just bumped across by Heitbrink. Schreier, back set, Louth, blocked back at her. Hit by Barhorst for the point. Nice volley.
Yeah, again, good plays. I believe Barhorst touched the Louth attack, and then Barhorst gets the finishing blow. Her second kill for the 5'10 senior. And again, as you mentioned, nice volley, a lot of good hustle plays, and
excellent volleyball here tonight.
Can't complain at all. Again, two good teams, and winner moves on to the districts at Van Wert.
Louth, dug by Heitbrink. Back to Heitbrink. Block back. Say Schwieterman and Louth. Jeff, I'll let you judge which one. It was a nice team effort there.
I couldn't tell which one got it. They went up together. They both get the assist, and for New Knoxville, their first termination block in game number 2. They had one termination block in game number 1. This one may be a big one, not only momentum-wise, but it ties the game back up at 18 all.
Purdy with the dig. In the middle, Barhorst. And we'll have a Ranger in the net. Point for the Wildcats. We've been having a lot of side outs of late.
I think it was a break for the Wildcats as Barhorst got an attack. It was a good play by Boimer to give her a set, and Barhorst didn't get a lot of it, but New Knoxville in the net. Barhorst, her third kill of game 2. Minster on top by 1.
Schreier sets Miller. Dink off of Boimer. Purdy go to Heitbrink, bumped across. Beerline chase it down in the middle. Schwieterman with a point.
Went a little bit quicker there, Dave. Didn't give maybe the Minster defenders a chance to rotate over to block, and it's got to require good timing communication between the setter and the attacker, and Schwieterman comes through with her second kill.
Schwieterman now to the back row. We're tied at 19. Short serve. Purdy steps up. Boimer goes back set to Heitbrink. Block back. And a point for the Rangers. There was a Louth there, Miller, Schreier, one of the three.
Louth definitely was up there, and again, the touch went right back off of the Minster attacker. And
Knoxville with the lead. Barhorst, that sails wide, and now a 2-point lead for the Rangers. I think the last point might have been their first lead. Now they're
up
2-point lead. The tendency that Knoxville with that one in the first set, they're playing a little looser here. Minster seems a little more tense. Don't want to fall behind 2-0. Whipker with the hit. Beerline sets Louth. Saved and over by the Wildcats. Beerline tries to dump it over. There's Purdy. Whipker will set Heitbrink. Back set to Schreier. Chance for the Wildcats. Boimer over to Heitbrink with a big kill. If you're a Minster fan, that was a big point.
Oh yeah,
they cut the lead back to 1.
Big either way you go. And for the Wildcats, Heitbrink her third kill. And again, extended volley action there going on, and each team had moments, and each team, free balled it back and forth a little bit, and Minster earns the point with a Heitbrink kill.
Served by Heitbrink. Schreier. That will be wide. We are tied at 21.
Kenzie Schreier with a hitting error. Doesn't hit many out of bounds. Just a third hitting error for the Rangers in this game. So again, they played very clean. That one just a bit long, and we're knotted up at 21.
Jordan Heitbrink looks over to Coach Garman for the sign on what zone to try to serve it to. Holman has a nice save on that. Free ball across. Boimer in the middle. Barhorst, that's blocked wide. Wildcats back with the lead.
Barhorst, a strong attack. New Knoxville there, 2 blockers, and the block goes out of bounds. Kill for Barhorst.
We'll keep it right here. I'd like to thank our sponsors for making another exciting volleyball telecast possible. Francis Furniture, St. Mary's Trucking, Cy Schrudeman, West Staff, Radio Hospital, 21st Century Kitchens, Elmwood Assisted Living, Schrudeman Pharmacies, New Knoxville Supply, Keyhole Pizza, Minster Bank, Minster Dental, and NKTelco. Our keys to the game sponsor tonight was Bud's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Salina, where the dealer makes the difference. On our first National Bank scoreboard in the second set, Minster leads by 1.
Been a very competitive game. Minster got off to the 8-0 lead. New Knoxville came back, took basically a brief 2-point lead here just recently, Dave, but now Minster back on top. So these teams, it's a game of momentum, a game of inches. As last point, it was blocked. If it lands in bounds, the momentum point goes to New Knoxville. The touch, the block, if you will, goes out of bounds. Minster gets the ball, the point. It's just so delicate between winning and losing here. It's tough to say, oh, we beat them. You won. It's hard to call the other team actually the loser because they both have played so well.
Louth, ball will come all the way over right behind me. And the point, give it a kill to Tasia Louth. If this bench wasn't here, I think a Wildcat may have gotten to it. Would have went through me if needed. So
that would have been all bad, but no, there was definitely hustle play, Dave. As you mentioned, the score stand here, the table definitely gets in the way. But good hustle try by the Wildcats, not up at 22 apiece.
Kayla James back to serve. She was serving toward the end of the last set. Westerbeck with the hit. James will set Schreier off the block and a point. Nice set by James. Put Schreier in a good position. Like you said, she had a whole court where she hit that time off the block and a point. 23-22 Rangers. Purdy with the bump. Hit across by Westerbeck. James will try to dump it. Barhorst hits it back. James will have to free ball it. Purdy in the middle. Barhorst will dink it in left-handed and it falls. Not really a dink. Only thing she could hit was her left hand and it worked.
Came from the south side, or southpaw I should say, and again each team there had some moments where they couldn't get a strong attack. Barhorst maybe mistimed it or just flat out, like you said, was stuck with her left hand, found the hole in the New Knoxville defense.
23-23. Free ball by the Rangers. Chance for Minster. Boimer in the middle. Toby off the block. Nice save by Schwerdeman. Schreier hammers it home. Great set there to Schreier. She hammers it with a big angle.
Good pickups by both teams. New Knoxville able to get in the system. And again, Schreier hitting the ball very hard tonight, getting a lot of downward spin on it. Game point for New Knoxville.
Ashlyn Miller serving for the Rangers. Dug by Purdy. Close to the net. Blocked. And they will call Beerline for being over, in a sense. Another way of saying it, she took a hit away, so to speak.
Can't make contact with the ball and over the plane of the net until after the third hit, right?
Something like that. I think if the setter would have tried to go over with it, it was okay. But she was trying to go sideways in the opinion of the referee. Well, big call,
The overpass turns out as a break, if you will, for the Wildcats, as it was going to be a tough play for Minster.
24-24. Riplow to serve. Beerline off the block, and it falls. Shayna Beerline with a big kill, and now another set point for the Rangers. Schreier back to the back row to serve for the second set. Dug by Purdy. Riplow, free ball across by Heitbrink. Schreier will go Beerline. Big by Purdy. Block there by Toby as Schwerdeman tried to hit it back. Big block on the overpass. You don't see that a whole lot. We are tied again at 25.
Paige Toby's been an animal at the net, timing those, and that time, as she said, the overpass, Schwerdeman timed it well. Toby very alert. Gets her second block of game two, had two in game number one.
Beerline. I think we've been tied at 21-25. Heitbrink with the hit. Schreier will go to Doty with a kill. Taylor Doty's had some big hits on the right side.
Hitting diagonally, across the court. A lot of room to operate. Her second kill of game two, had four in game number one. Back to set point for the Rangers.
The third set point for the Rangers. Westerbeck. Dumped by Boimer. We're tied at 26. I believe we've been tied at 21, 22, 23, 24,
right.
25, and 26.
Boimer, known for her setting, averaging over 9 sets. Also nearly a kill a set, and I'm guessing most of them come via that route you just saw there, and she's hitting at 9 or just under 400. So she's very successful going on her own attack.
Louth's hit is blocked back. They'll set Beerline from the right side, covered by Toby. Slide play to Barhorst, and they'll say it's off of a blocker and a point. I think it's sailed wide, but it's off the blocker, and now Minster with their first set point.
Wow, they've had their backs against the wall, like I said, at least 3 or 4 times already. Now they have the advantage.
Toby, dug by Miller. Louth will have to dink it. Boimer will try to dump, and it works again. Another great set. Minster battles through the end of that set, and they prevail 28-26. This match is even at 1 set apiece. We've had 2 great sets so far. Stick around, see what remains when we return here on NKTelco Sports.
Your parents have given you so much throughout the years. They were there when you won first place. Your first heartbreak, your first car, your first wreck, graduation, planning that special day. Is it time to give back? Give your mom the life she gave you at Elmwood.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Two very good sets of volleyball so far. Knoxville won the first game 25-22, and an even more thrilling second set as Minster wins in so-called overtime 28-26.
Knoxville started off slow game number 2, 8-0 deficit. They battled back and had set point 2 or 3, maybe 4 times. Minster able to keep the game alive, and in their first time with the advantage, they finish it, as you said, the 2-point overtime victory. Minster 20 kills in set number 2. New Knoxville was 16. New Knoxville just 5 errors. Minster committed 7 errors.
Beerline with the hit. Westerbeck with the swing. There's Schruderman in the back row again. Beerline again with a kill. Shayna Beerline, second team All-MAC, having a big game, big match tonight.
She has her 11th kill. She had 5-1, 5-2, and now her first one here in set 3.
Kenzie Schreier with the serve, Douglas Riplow. Slide play to Toby, and this one sails wide. They're asking for a tip. The referees say no. So point for the Rangers. Rangers had a big lead early in the first set. They were up 10-1. Minster got up 8-0. Toby this time goes straight down with the kill.
Yeah, another time we see the 6-foot junior go up and hit it just in front, or I should say just past the 10-foot line, and that's tough to defend. I mean, you either got to be lucky or just hit it just right. Toby very aggressive tonight as well. Her 11th kill, also 5 in each game. 5-1, 5-2. Now her first kill here in game 3.
Homecoming queen for Minster, Rosie Westerbeck with a serve, and Doty took a little bit off of it for the kill.
Doty will check out. She now has 7 kills on the night. Faith Holman mentioned excellent serving. She averages 6 digs a game and also 6 serve receptions per set. So she's a very busy lady for the Rangers defense.
Schreier, Schwierderman blocked back. Miller keeps it alive. Free ball to cross. Westerbeck. They go to Toby with the kill. Beerline had it partially blocked, but just too much power that time by Toby.
Most of Toby's shots, Dave, or attacks have been power lace. She's finessed it here and there, but for the most part, it's vertical and it's going down. She gets up vertically and then attacks it going downhill. Very difficult to stop. able to push it through the hands at the net.
Toby just a junior. Her serve sails long.
3 service errors on the night for the Wildcats, 1 in each game. New Knoxville perfect from the serving line.
Figure how many points there was. It was roughly probably about 25 serves a game for both teams, so do the math. Heidbrink, nice cover there by Holman. Miller sails long.
Touch.
Yeah, there goes the touch. It was long. They'll say it was against Minster. A touch off of Minster. And a point for the Rangers.
For Miller, now her second kill. She averages just under 1 kill a game. Was held killless in set 1, but now 1 each in games 2 and 3.
Captain Jordan Heidbrink goes over to talk. One of the captains goes over to the official. It's always interesting. The coaches can't talk to him, so they just send the captains back and forth to relay the message.
Back when you were a kid, you played that game where you could
telephone, yeah.
I wonder what kind of message ends up getting across the court.
The line judge this time will come up, and she's the one that made the call, and she'll explain what she saw or thought she saw, and they will call. Call will stand. Of course, the home fans don't like to call. The New Knoxville fans are quite well, and it's a pretty even crowd. There's a lot of New Knoxville fans here tonight. Nice crowd here for this sectional final. As Beerline will serve with a 5-2 lead. Barhorst will be in.
Barhorst had a very big game, number 2 for the Wildcats. 6 kills for Carly Barhorst. Now has 8 on the night. She's hitting at .255. That hitting percentage, again, factors in your errors and number of attacks. So the higher the average, the better the point score you can be on your swings.
Louth blocked back. Beerline tries to dink it over. Pushed deep by Schwerdeman, and she finds a spot.
Well, that by far tonight has to be the softest, longest traveled kill that we've seen. As
had good hang time.
Good hang time is right. Coffin corner for Schwerdeman, her first kill of set 3.
Schwerdeman back to serve. Purdy steps up with the dig. Heidbrink with the hit. Beerline tries to set Schreier. She'll have to hit it flat-footed. Boimer will set Heidbrink. She dinks it, but Beerline is there. Homer with a back set, or back bump, and the kill by Schreier.
Schreier, another good night hitting. Now with 10 kills on the night. Averages also 5 assists per night. She's been active, hitting, setting.
And the senior, Schwerdeman with the serve. Whipker will hit it flat-footed. Back set to Miller. Big angle. Too big. Side out to Minster.
Again, right idea. Shayna Beerline stepping in for the set. Miller with a good cross-court swing. Didn't miss by much. But, a big point for the Wildcats as they had fallen behind as they get the scoreboard fixed now. 7-4.
Back set to Louth. That time it didn't make it across. It's been a pretty big weapon on the right side. That time it hits the tape and falls down.
Back-to-back points for the Wildcats, and when you get behind, it's more important you get consecutive serves, and that's what Heidbrink has been able to do for the Wildcats.
Overpass put down by Westerbeck. And the Wildcats creep within 1. Seven to 6, Rangers. They led so far the whole game. Schreier blocked that time by Barhorst. She had help with Whipker, but she blocked the angle hit there by Schreier.
Barhorst has been active at the net. No blocks for points in game number 2, but had 2 in game 1, and that one there with her teammate Whipker to tie the game up at 7 apiece. So an elimination game, remind you, Dave, for the Wildcats.
And a kill by Schreier. Off the left side as Taylor Doty will check in. Kayla James will serve.
This is where you're supposed to say, no, Jeff, it's not an elimination game. Each team has 1 apiece. My fault.
Okay.
So, yeah. when I said that, I thought, no. Right. So, yeah, each team tied up at 1 apiece here. The loser of this game will be an elimination game.
Carly Barhorst, great timing with the setter, Haley Barmer, for the kill.
Well, you mentioned the timing there. Again, when the rhythm is there, it's so difficult to defend because you can't react quick enough.
Yeah, it's different when you set to the sides. There's usually time to block, and there's usually a little higher set. You have to have it. James will go to Schreier. That time, though, Schreier, that one was tough to block, and she goes with the kill.
Kayla Janes averages just over 2 sets a set, so she does a nice job when she's in there in her spot. Comes in and serves and sets it for a little bit, so takes advantage of the opportunity. Her team now up by 1-9-8.
Miller goes with a short serve. Dink by Toby, back on the Minster side. Purdy will set Westerbeck. There's Holman with the dig. Beerline, dug by Heitbrink. Dink by Toby. Second hit across by Schreier. Westerbeck goes down the line for the point.
Good placement. Not hit extremely hard, but boy, she saw the opening and made sure her attack stayed in bounds. And Westerbeck, her second kill of game 3.
Yeah, I think she read her blockers well. They recovered on the angle, which most of the hitters usually go left or go on an angle. And she mixed it up for the point. 9-9. Beerline off the blockers and falls. Shayna Beerline with another kill.
Beerline's been very aggressive tonight. Her 12th kill. From memory, not a lot of hitting errors, I think, from, well, really as a team for New Knoxville, they've been hitting the ball very well. Not a lot of errors and making the Minster defense work.
Heitbrink from the back row. Homan went up and got it. Bumped across. Chance for the Cats. In the middle, Toby. Point.
Again, just a reaction play for the Rangers if you're to try to defend her. At that time, she went across her body, a quick diagonal attack, and really, unless you're standing there, very difficult to make a play on the ball.
Westerbeck serving. Schreier sets Schwierdeman. Dug by Purdy. A little confusion on the second hit. Chance for the Rangers, and Schwierdeman makes them pay with the kill.
I'm going to go back, just remind everyone, you know, the offenses all start with a good first touch, and both these teams serve, receive very well. Minster, 91% accuracy, New Knoxville, 92.
Ace.
And as I say that, New Knoxville gets a rare ace, but boy, for Faith Holman, 3 aces tonight, 1 in each game.
Wow, and that one just dropped. The bottom just fell out of that one.
One of the few times the Wildcats don't get the first touch going, but both these teams serve, receive very well.
Schreier to Schwierdeman, blocked, saved by Beerline. Pushed across by Schreier. In the middle, Toby. There's Homan that time, read it. They'll go Miller from the back row. Dug by Riplow. Heitbrink. Beerline with the kill.
Wow, so that was another, like a broken record, Dave. Another good volley. Some amazing attacks, some good defensive reaction plays by each team, and Beerline, her 3rd kill, puts the Rangers up by 3.
13-10. Dug by Purdy. Boimer go to Heitbrink, block back and down. Louth and Schwierdeman.
Schwierdeman now block in each set. For Louth, her 3rd. She had 2 in set number 2, and now her 3rd one here in 3. Rangers 4-point lead.
Biggest lead of this set. Dumped across by Boimer. She didn't really have anywhere else to go on that. Beerline, soft hit. Riplow is there. Over to Heitbrink, block back. Push deep by Schwierdeman. Heitbrink block. It's kept alive. They just have to hit it across. Schreier over to Beerline. There's Riplow to save it. Westerbeck from the back row. Louth. Heitbrink tries to push it deep. Extended volley, Beerline. Dug by Purdy. Not a lot of real good swings right now. Schreier Schwierdeman blocked by Toby.
A long volley, and again, maybe not a perfect attacking, but there were some decent swings in there, and again, each defense getting the ball back for their offense, and ultimately results in a termination block for the Wildcats.
Toby back to serve, her squad down by 3 in this 1-to-1 match here. Tasia Louth this time from the left side with the kill.
Louth now her 6th kill on the night, plus 4 blocks tonight for points for the 5'8" sophomore.
Shayna Bierlein back to serve. Again, made second team All-MAC for the senior.
95% server on the year for the Rangers.
Purdy with a nice save. Nice hit by Barhorst, saved by Schreier. Bumped across by Bierlein. Purdy, go to Boimer. Hybrink shot is blocked back at her. There's the back bump to Miller, and that will be in. Ashlyn Miller off the back bump. It was a nice set there by Faith Holman.
Well, Miller doing what she had to do, kept it in bounds. Her second kill of set number 3. New Knoxville back now to the 5-point lead.
16-11.
New Knoxville on the year averaging just over 1 ace per game, and Minster just under 2 service aces per game.
Hybrink's hit was covered by Holman. Hit by Miller goes long. This time New Knoxville is asking for a touch. No touches called.
3 hitting errors for the Rangers. Minster just 2 errors, a hitting error and a serving error so far. So both teams, as we're about the midway point here, 3 errors for New Knoxville, just 2 for the Wildcats.
In the middle, Louth blocked back and falls. Give Barhorst the block. Whipker was there as well.
We've mentioned that combination often tonight. Barhorst now her 4th kill, or 4th block, and also Reagan Webker her 3rd block.
Miller blocked again by Barhorst. Definitely the middles are taller for Minster, and they're taking advantage of that. Timeout, New Knoxville. Knoxville still leads by 2. We'll be right back.
If you want to save 70% on your heating, cooling, and hot water costs, the answer is right under your feet. Let New Knoxville Supply install a water furnace geothermal system and use the natural temperature from the earth for a more constant temperature in your home. Also ask about our new Symphony home management system. Control temperatures, track energy usage, and receive safety alerts for everything, including your sump pump. All from anywhere, anytime. Now is the time to calculate your savings at newknoxvillesupply.com.
This match is tied at 1 set apiece. New Knoxville won the first game. Minster won the second game. Another close game here in the third. New Knoxville up by 2.
Yeah, it's been a battle throughout, and again, both teams playing so cleanly. The points that you've seen tonight have been aggressive points, not a lot of what you would call like bonehead plays. I mean, everyone's playing pretty well, making aggressive attacks, and it's just been pretty clean. It's been enjoyable to watch. Now Minster, their size, as you mentioned, maybe becoming a bit of a factor here at times. Their blocking seems to be very good for the Wildcats, and to give credit to the Rangers, they've found ways at certain points to get around the blockers.
And there's an ace.
Talk about the serve receiving, a rare ace committed against the Rangers. Give Boimer the service ace, her 2nd of the night.
She took a little bit off of that, a little short. Back set to Louth off the block. Purdy. Boimer will just have to bump it across. Schreier, and they'll call lift. Looked like Schreier wasn't sure if she wanted to hit it or set it. And
that was a mistake by the Rangers. They didn't take care of the free ball opportunity. Minster gets a break. Not too many times will you see a free ball result in the ball handling error, because the first pass was a bit off, but tie game now, so New Knoxville needs to get a break.
Good dig by Hoying. There's a block by Schwierdeman.
Well, they got what they needed. Both Schwierdeman and Louth up there again together. But boy, Minster had run off some points there, and tied it. New Knoxville back up now by 1.
Barhorst puts it down. Been a big part of the offense. Barhorst and Toby hitting from the middle. We're back tied to 17. I don't think Minster has led in this game.
Don't think so.
I think New Knoxville had an early 2-0 lead and rode that for a little bit.
Yeah,
New Knoxville had a 4-point lead, maybe a 5-point lead. I think 4. We're tied at 17. Beerline will set Schreier. I don't think that ever made it. Either way, it falls on the Knoxville side. Now Minster with their first lead.
Well, give the Wildcats credit. You know, it's taken them all the way to 18-17, but they've found a way to get on top here by 1, playing at home. See if they can put together a string of consecutive serves and put the Rangers in a 2-1 hole.
Third straight year Minster has played their tournament game at home. Dink by Schreier. Flat footed from the back row, block, never made it across. Minster 2 years ago defeated Marion Local here. We had that game. Last year, Minster hosted Delphos St. John. Delphos St. John pulled off an upset there. That was a 5 seed being the 4 seed. Not a huge upset. And this is the third straight year. I think it's the third year that they've started having the higher seeded team host the first 2 rounds.
We talked about that the other night. I think you're right. This is the 3rd year for that.
And it brings a little excitement to it. You know, it's easier for the fans. Try to earn that higher seed to get that home game.
And you get a lot better of attendance, too, with it being local, close by. That's one of the benefits of having it.
Back to action, free ball on the New Knoxville side. Schreier through the blockers. Tied again now at 19. Last game, I think we had 6 straight points that we were tied on. Got a lot of ties. I think we've been tied at 17, 18, and 19. As Ashlyn Miller back to serve. Dug by Webker. Westerbeck with a kill through the blockers. Found an opening in the back row, which is rare tonight.
Yeah, not too many times the ball is going untouched, and Westerbeck, her 7th kill, and add a block in there. She's come up big after somewhat of a quiet game offensively in the first set, has picked up the pace here. Another weapon for the Wildcats offense to use.
Sarah Riplow with the serve. Dug by Schruderman. Beerline from the 10-foot line, just in. Beerline did a nice job hitting that. Like I said, right at the 10-foot line.
Well, she had 40 feet to get it in. She used the 10 in front of her plus the 30 on Minster's side, and it hit on the back end. Her 4th kill of the set, number 3. She's got 14 on the night.
Slide play to Toby. Nice save there by Miller. Doty from the right side through the blockers. Rangers back up on top.
Another strong kill for Doty out of this right front. 8 kills on the night for the 5'8 sophomore.
And a lot of that all started with Miller picking up that hard hit by Toby.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great defensive plays tonight to get their offenses, to help their offenses get into system.
Westerbeck, there's Holman. Over to Beerline, blocked down. Toby there along with Boymer. We'll give it to Toby.
Well, a lot of termination blocks for the Wildcats. When you think of, I hear you say blocks, and they are, but the termination blocks,
right,
they count on the stats, and usually, you know, Minster are averaging two blocks as a team per set, and that's probably one of the league leaders.
And they have another block there, not a termination block, and blocked again back on the New Knoxville side. Doty blocked again. 3 straight attacks is blocked. And this one will go wide, or
touch.
Actually there was a touch. It goes off a Minster player.
Beerline, her 5th
So
kill.
3 straight times New Knoxville swung, blocked back, didn't get frustrated, got the final point.
You know, great touches by the Wildcats, great recovery defensively by the Rangers, and you know, prevailed, just kept going at it, getting good opportunities, following the defense.
Beerline with the dink.
Took a lot off of that. Her 6th kill, 2-point lead with 2 to go for the Rangers.
23-21.
You mentioned all that blocking at the net and New Knoxville keeping it alive. You know, both teams doing a nice job, and you know, it doesn't happen by mistake. Very well coached as far as where the players need to be by the coaches.
Back set to Lau, block, but wide. So Minster there again with the block, but this time too wide.
Game of inches. They had great contact, great front row, but just with Lau hitting to the right front, carried out of bounds by a couple inches.
Set point for the Rangers. Boimer in the middle, Toby, kill.
Boy, straight on for Toby. Her 4th kill, her 14th of the night.
Minster still with some work to do. They have to go through 2 more set points here.
Well, Paige Toby did what she needed to do. Her team needed a point and the ball back. She got both. Now her chance here to serve consecutive serves.
Dug by Miller. Lau through the blockers, and the 3rd set goes to the Rangers. Score on the First National Bank scoreboard, 25-22. After 3 sets, now New Knoxville leads 2-1. We'll come back with set 4 when we return on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
We move to the 4th set in this sectional final between number 3 and home team Minster, number 6, New Knoxville. New Knoxville wins the last set 25-22 to take a 2-1 lead.
Boy, if I would have told you, Dave, one team committed 3 errors and recorded 5 blocks for points, you'd have thought that team would have won. They didn't. Minster just 3 errors, recorded 5 blocks, but come up the losers in that game 3. New Knoxville, 19 kills, along with a couple blocks, but New Knoxville just more aggressive there, getting their attacks to drop. Good pickup by the Rangers, but boy, it's odd to see a team only commit 3 errors. Plus, you know, the blocks are what's amazing. You just don't see teams get termination blocks that many in one set.
Doty will try to dink it. Boimer to Toby. Nice save that time by Holman. Beerline off the blockers. Boimer can't do anything with it close to the net. And the Rangers take the early lead. Ashlyn Miller, one of 8 seniors here for New Knoxville. Westerbeck. Miller, sail long.
Each team opens up this game 4 with a hitting error or an error, so you know, Minster has to be careful they don't dig themselves too deep of a hole. They've come back already, but you know, to battle, to take the leads in the game, and you just hate to get yourself down too big, too early.
Boimer and Doty battle at the net. Now on the Minster side, Westerbeck off the set from Heitbrink. Schroeder with another dig. Beerline, that sails long. It's always tough in tournament too. Oh, they'll call a touch. Check that. A touch they will call on Minster. Coach Garman wants to know who or where. The end result, New Knoxville point. They take the 2-1 lead. Bumped across by Purdy. Schreier will go to Beerline. Not able to keep it alive. Shayna Beerline with a kill.
Second kill quickly here for Beerline. She had 5 in game 1, 5 in game 2, 6 in game 3. So she's been very big weapon, choice of weapon, if you will, for the Rangers tonight.
Schreier with the serve in the middle, or actually looked like it was going to go to Toby, but Boimer mixed it up there, and a nice hit by Westerbeck. So nice job running an offense by the setter, Haley Boyner.
Keeping the defense on their toes. Again, when you constantly go to the other same spot all the time, the defense begins to sense that and usually can time it up pretty well. That time mix it up a bit. And more importantly, Westerbeck able to finish it.
This time the serve is too short.
For Minster, their 4th service error of the night. They've had 1 error in every game. New Knoxville has just 1 service error on the evening, and that came in our last set, set number 3.
Into the back row, number 8, Taylor Hoying replaces Westerbeck. Rangers up 4-2. It's Faith Holman with the serve. Boimer, Highbrink with the kill. Schwiedeman went a long way off the length of the gym to try to keep it alive.
Miller ran out of room, I believe. It was Miller, number 5. But yes, a lot of room here at Minster. Nice big court, and pretty much go at your own will, and kind of sensed the wall was nearing. And couldn't bring it back.
Beerline from the right side with the kill.
Beerline with 3 quick ones here. New Knoxville up 5-3.
Beerline will rotate back to serve. Ashton Miller rotates into the front row. Riplow. Boimer did a nice job doing something with that and gets a point.
Again, we've seen Boimer about 3 times tonight go over the net on that second ball. 3 times she's scored points. So again, averaging as a setter just under 1 kill per set and hitting at .393. So she's been very successful on those opportunities.
Well, they're now into the back row to serve. Schwiedeman takes something off of it and it falls on the Minster side. Knoxville's doing a nice job of working around the blocks, throwing it off just a little bit, and not being intimidated by the blocking. Sometimes you can try to do too much and throw everything off. Highbrink with a nice hit, that time from the middle.
Highbrink didn't mention her name much in game 3, didn't record a kill, was active in games 1 and 2 with 4 kills, then 3 and now 2, so picking up the pace, getting some attacks to drop for Highbrink, a 5'10 senior.
Westerbeck checks back in the lineup. She's in the front row. Schreier, dug by Purdy. Back set to Whipker. Bump set there by Holman. Block. This time it looks like Westerbeck. Also Barhorst was there as well.
Again, another block for the Wildcats for point. They've been very aggressive at the net.
6-6, another close game. Every one of them's been close. Louth with the kill. You wonder if this is the game that one of the teams breaks away a little bit. But very evenly matched teams. Very even records, and the way the night's gone, probably not. Other than early in the
each game 1 and 2.
Yep. Game 1 and 2.
But both teams came back really fairly quickly. You got 8-0 or 10-1 in game 1 and 8-0 in game 2, but then it shrunk real quick, and then it was back and forth the rest of the set for each of those games.
Purdy will have to set the second one. Westerbeck with a hit. James back to Beerline from the back row. Check that out, Schwiedeman from the back row. Now Highbrink from the back row. Schwiedeman with a dig. Free ball to cross. Chance for Minster. In the middle. Barhorst with a kill. I think the timing was a little bit off there, but it still worked.
Didn't make solid contact, but made enough contact that Barhorst was able to, if you will, beat the ball versus let the ball beat her hand, and she earned the point. Back to 7 apiece.
Purdy with the serve. James back set. Doty had to come a long way to get that. Boimer to Whipker. Covered by the Rangers. Schreier blocked back and down. Toby along with Whipker with yet another termination block for the Wildcats.
That's been probably their biggest advantage so far tonight, Dave. They've been scoring a lot of points, if you will, on those blocks in the front. So nice job by the girls up front.
Short serve and an ace by Paige Purdy. Just barely made it over the net without hitting. And a timeout by the Rangers. They trail by 2. We'll be right back.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Myring, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
We are in the fourth set. Another close action here as Minster with a 9-7 lead.
New Knoxville takes a quick timeout a little bit here just to kind of stop the momentum a little bit. It's only a 2-point lead, but Coach Webb obviously saw something she didn't like and wanted to get it corrected before the spread got too big and not let Minster get too much confidence here. See once if the timeout for the Rangers can break that Minster momentum here.
Paige Purdy surveying the defense, deciding where she wants to go with it.
Serves very well for the Wildcats, 97%.
Hit by Schreier. That's what you want off of a timeout. You usually have a certain play you want to go to.
Yeah, and it seems we've seen a lot of times, Dave, after a timeout, somebody will come back and serve it into the net or out of bounds. That's the most frustrating thing, but that one, New Knoxville earned the point off of a Minster block, or off of the Minster touch.
Free ball across just barely by Minster. Beerline off the block. Back set, Webker. Dug by Miller, second set over by Schreier. Toby, big hammer, but picked up by the Rangers. Good set by Purdy, hit covered there by Miller. Pushed across by Beerline. They'll call a lift or 2 hits on the Rangers. Ten to 8 Minster. Sarah Riplow checks into the lineup to serve.
Sarah Riplow just under 98% serving for the season, just 7 errors for the Wildcats. Very valuable server she is for the Minster offense.
And she had a nice dig there off the Doty hit. That ball into the net. Hitting error for the Wildcats. It's the lead cut to 1. Schreier back to serve. She will now set from the back row. Dig by Purdy, a nice pass. Toby covered by the Rangers. Back bump. Covered there by Purdy. Westerbeck's hit. Schreier tries to dump it and be free balled across. Chance for the Rangers. Schreier will go to Beerline. She'll try to dink it. Westerbeck covers it. And Boimer with the, oh, that's still alive. Schreier hit it. It went off a player's leg, and she hit the third hit. So we keep the volley going. From the back row, Miller. Dig by Heitbrink. Toby. And it's still alive. Over to Westerbeck with the kill. Long extended volley. Finally finishes with the kill from Westerbeck. Great game, great playing by both teams there.
Westerbeck finishes it. New Knoxville again made some hectic plays, keeping the ball alive legally, not lifting it. Minster stayed on the aggressive attacking, and Westerbeck wins it with her second kill.
Doty partially blocked. Boimer will dump it. That time Schreier's there. Holman will set Beerline. Dug by Purdy, and that will sail wide.
Beerline, her 4th kill. She's, again, been a consistent offensive star tonight for the Rangers.
Taylor Hoying checks back in the lineup in the back row. As Faith Holman serves for the Rangers. Hoying will dig it. We'll go Riplow from the back row. Schwierdeman with a hit. Jenna Schwierdeman a hit from the middle for the Rangers.
2 kills for Schwierdeman here in set 4.
Have to note a few games back they lost one of their middle hitters, the Rangers. Caitlin Lammers has been out for 3 weeks or so.
She's out for the season, averaged just over a kill a game and also a block a game.
Toby with a kill.
So New Knoxville had to kind of reshuffle a bit and maybe spend a couple games getting used to the new rotation, the familiarity with who's doing what. But yeah, Lammer's a 5'11 junior, a big body to replace here late in the season.
Toby with the serve, dug by Holman. Back set, Beerline blocked wide. This time New Knoxville takes advantage of the blockers.
Yeah, it's, there again, it's hit in the block, they touch it out of bounds. If it lands inbounds, then you're worried about, well, why don't you hit it around a block? But Beerline nonetheless gets the point, her 5th kill, 21 on the night for Shayna Beerline.
12-12. Free ball across. Schreier will go to Schroeder in the middle, block back at her for the point.
Another termination block, I believe it was with Heitbrink and also Barhorst, as Minster scoring points via the termination block.
Haley Boymer rotates back to serve and will be setting from the back row. Then another block that goes wide for Minster, this time off the hip from Miller.
Miller now 4 kills on the night.
Schroeder back to serve. 13-13. We've been tied several points in a row here. Knoxville with a 2-1 lead in terms of sets. There's a set to Webker, block that time. Louth with the block. So the Rangers get a termination lock and take the lead.
Now New Knoxville averaging just under 2 blocks a set, come up with their first termination block of set number 4, and that one gives them a 1-point lead and keeps the serve.
Heitbrink tries to dink it from the back row. Hit by Schreier, nice dig by Hoying. Heitbrink through the blockers with a point.
Heitbrink did not record a kill in game number 3, but number 3 now with her 3rd kill in game number 4, a big one, tying it up at 14.
14-14. This sectional final, the winner to play Marion Local or Lincoln View is playing tonight. Probably Marion Local at the Van Wert District. Back set to Webker, off the blocker. This time they take it goes wide off New Knoxville's blocker, and the Wildcats back on top.
Reagan Webker, 3rd kill of the night, but she's been very aggressive at the net. Also with 4 termination blocks tonight to go along with the 3 kills.
15-14 is junior Jordan Heitbrink with the serve. Over to Schreier through the blockers with the kill.
Assist from Beerline, kill for Schreier. Very steady performance again tonight from Kenzie Schreier. 15 kills on the night, plus she's been running the Ranger offense when she's not hitting.
Taylor Doty rotates into the subs in the front line. Caitlin James will serve and will set, and that will go wide. Is that the first one? Second one.
1 in game 3, 1 in game 4.
Of service errors for New Knoxville. The side out gives it to Paige Purdy to serve for the Wildcats. Libero serve sails long. Service error for service error, tied at 16.
They've been far and few between tonight, but back-to-back ones. A shocker here with, again, not having hardly any all night. Tie game at 16.
Miller's serve, dug by Webker. A little off there, but Toby able to get it across. Second hit across by the Rangers. Second hit there by Boymer. Beerline with the kill. Shayna Beerline adds on to her kill total.
Boy, with all the blocks, all the touches Minster has had, and I don't know the stat, it just seems like they haven't been able to stop Beerline much at all. I'm not saying they haven't put any back on the Rangers side, but with 22 kills on the night, she's finding a crease in the Minster defense.
Minster's Heitbrink's hit from the back row goes into the net. Wildcats trail by 2. So Ashlyn Miller continues to serve. Dug by Purdy. In the middle, Toby.
Wow.
That's almost straight down.
Yeah, I don't know how you stop that unless you build a wall. And I won't go political on any of those comments, but yeah, Paige Toby that time. That was a nice snap of the wrist.
I like the reaction of some of her teammates on that. It was like, Wow.
I went wow. You know,
Yeah,
that was an aggressive attack for Paige Tobey. Continues to play well. 16 kills on the evening for Paige Tobey.
Beerline through the blockers. It'll be free balled across by Boimer. Chance for the Rangers. There's Beerline. That time a rare miss hit. The timing was off.
Yeah, just mishit it is right, Dave. I'm sure had visions of the push or the tap over the front row, but just mishit it, ties it up at 18 apiece.
Riplow with the serve. Back set. Doty sails long. Minster was down 2 points a little bit ago. Now put 3 straight points together to take the lead.
Quick swing by the Wildcats. They, on that verge when you're thinking, okay, Minster could have gone down by 3. They took advantage, and now, like you said, consecutive serves have the 1 point lead late in game 4. Again, it's an elimination game for the Wildcats.
That was a block. Tobey along with Boimer, and now Wildcats are the first one to 20. Coach Webb with a timeout. Her team down by 2 will step aside here on NKTelco Sports.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on.
Plastic surgery is very expensive today, Coach.
Jet!
Jet?
Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
20-18 in favor of Minster here in the 4th set, and what has been an absolutely great match here. It's a shame one of these teams' seasons will end tonight.
Now, like I said earlier, it's hard to say who lost. It's just a matter of who won this game, because you're splitting hairs trying to find out, what the dominating thing was for the winning team. They've been so even tonight. It's just great volleyball, and I guess we shouldn't be surprised. We kind of knew that coming in, it would be a dogfight.
Doty.
What's a big set offense if that's how it was. She hit the ball wide out of bounds. The last point for the Wildcats, Doty goes long. They go right back to her, and she goes diagonal, gets a very critical point for the Rangers.
Big hit by the sophomore to cut the lead to 1. Close to the net, Boimer again with another kill.
That's her 4th of the night. Again, very efficient when she senses or has that opportunity. The other team, in this case the Rangers, just doesn't read it quick enough to go up and stuff the attack. And Boimer, as I said, 4 kills now. Also has had a couple blocks.
Serve into the net. Gives it back to the Rangers. Taylor Hoyne back in the game as Faith Holman will serve. Wildcats clinging to a 1 point lead.
Holman's had an ace in each game. See if she can get the 4th one here. It'd be a big ace for the Rangers here late, trailing by 1.
Free ball across. Beerline blocked back, but it goes in. Close call. The block goes in. I think the block that time goes to Barhorst, I think, on the play. No, probably it was Tobey. Tobey just rotated to the back row.
Okay.
Free ball across. Slide play to Barhorst. Nice save there by Schreier. And the Rangers not able to keep it alive. A little mix-up on who was going to take the 3rd hit. And now a 3-point lead for the Wildcats.
Tough break for the Rangers. You hate to have that type. I mean, we haven't seen any miscommunication really by either team tonight. That one, big miscommunication, and they responded with a much-needed point.
Sophomore Tasia Louth through the blockers. 23-21. Huge points here. 1 more point for Minster. They're at set point. To stop that, New Knoxville needs the next 2 points. See what happens. Boimer, go to Heitbrink. She has to dink it. Back bump. Over to Heitbrink. Nice dig by Holman.
Heitbrink had a running start at it.
Beerline from the back row sails wide, and we have set point coming up for the Wildcats. Game serving 21. Senior Haley Boimer trying to put the finishing touches on the fourth set. Miller dug by Hoying. Free ball across by Purdy. Schreier in the middle. Schwierderman, that will sail wide. Kill by Jenna Schwierderman.
Good timing by classmates Jenna Schwierderman and Kenzie Schreier. Went quickly. Schwierderman just pushed it, literally pushed it where the hole was, and they got a deflection. She records her third kill. When I say push, it was legal.
Legally pushed, yeah.
It was just a different attacking motion.
Boimer will set Heitbrink in the middle, and that goes long. Looking for a touch, no touch. A third set point coming up for Minster. See if New Knoxville can survive this, or Minster can finish it here. Purdy, Boimer, over to Whipker. Covered by Beerline. Go over to Schreier. She hits it flat-footed.
Opportunity.
Boimer to Barhorst, blocked but wide. And the Minster Wildcats win the fourth game, 25-23. What a great match. And what's even better is we have one more set coming up here. They'll flip to see who serves and who chooses what side. We'll tally up our numbers. We'll come back with the deciding Game 5 when we return on NKTelco Sports.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
There's a lot of early mornings that go into 40 years of service, a lot of miles on these tires, and millions of pounds of cargo have traveled in these trailers. It's about dependable service, the kind of service that shows up 30 minutes early every time, that gets your products, cargo, and business from point A to point B safely, quickly, and efficiently. We are St. Mary's Trucking, traveling the roads of commerce in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky. Men and women who produce the solutions that make your business grow, because the most important thing to them is you.
What a match we have had here tonight at Minster High School between the Wildcats and the Knoxville Rangers. All four games have been decided by 3 points or less. Knoxville won the first game by 3. Minster won the second game by 2 in overtime, 28-26. Knoxville wins the third game, 25-22. Minster wins the fourth game, 25-23. As you see the scores, wow,
yeah, this is
15 points decided here.
It's this will be the first one to 15 by 2, and it's been all you could ask for. A great match tonight. Just, I think, to me, it's just been so clean. There's not been, last game each team did commit 7 errors, but as again, you just kind of oversee them because there's so much action in between those. And maybe the long volleys of the plays made during a volley, maybe they hit it out of bounds to end it, but boy, there was a lot of action. It's not serve, receive, and out of bounds. It's back and forth, great plays, attacks, back row hitting, front row setters going over on the second hit, people recovering it, the digs being in the right spot to receive some of these hard-driven attacks. It's just been, to me, very exciting and entertaining, and it's coming down to this final match. And again, I think there's only a winner tonight. We'll just leave it at that.
That's it. There's 14 seniors on the floor here tonight, and it's always tough when you're a senior. It could come down. This could be your last game.
Volleyball.
They've been playing volleyball all the way from junior high, maybe earlier. All the matches at the high school, junior high. A lot of these girls play club as well. Right now it's going to decide one of these teams is going to win it. Again, the fifth set is a 15-point. First one to 15 and win by 2. And the Wildcats will serve to start it off. Senior Sarah Riplow. Dug by Schwierderman. Have to be bumped across. Boimer in the middle. Toby A play that's been effective for the Wildcats tonight.
Toby straight down on that attack. New Knoxville couldn't get anything in rhythm. The free ball gave Minster the green light, and they got to work Boimer with that shorter set to Toby. Again, we've seen her numerous times tonight go down with the ball, very tough to defend.
Dug by Schruderman. Schreier will set Beerline off the blockers. Blockers couldn't turn around quick enough to get it. Shayna Beerline with another kill.
23 kills on a night now for Beerline. You talk about Paige Toby, Shayna Beerline right there as well. Her attacks have found a spot on the Minster side of the court.
Free ball to cross. Chance for the Rangers. In the middle, Schruderman. Nice cover there by Hyper, and she came a long way. Hit by Westerbeck. Nice save there by Miller. Beerline, the kill. Shayna Beerline. She was what I'd call flat-footed. She didn't get any momentum. She had to jump straight up and hit it. Used a little of the net, and it worked for a kill.
Yeah, it wasn't the most powerful swing, but like I said, did what she could with the set. Got some tape and got the kill.
Toby tried to dink it. Beerline covered it. Doty dug by the Wildcats. Westerbeck through the blockers with a kill. Rosie Westerbeck from the left side through the blockers with the point.
Westerbeck now in double figures with kills with 10. A couple blocks also for Westerbeck tonight.
Into the game, Taylor Hoying will now be serving. She's been playing a lot of back row, but I think this is her first serve. Junior serve, dug by Beerline. Set back to Beerline, dug by Hoying. Heidbrink.
Took a little off. Miller did a nice job, but it goes back over to Minster.
Toby hammers it home.
Again, Minster stays on the aggressiveness there. They get some hard-driven attacks. New Knoxville able to keep it alive, but it goes over, so that gave Minster another opportunity. And Paige Toby, her second kill here in the fifth set.
Taylor Hoying with the serve. Dug by Miller. Beerline from behind the 10-foot line. Free ball to cross by Purdy. Schreier will back set to Doty, block back. Doty will bump it across. Boimer will set Toby. Good save by Holman. Nice set by Schreier to Doty. Good cover. Great volleyball here. Heidbrink covered by Schreier. Back bump, Beerline. Dug by Purdy. Heidbrink. There's Holman again. Miller couldn't get it home. Wow, what great hits. Some great digs, especially by the libero. Some good hits. Just good volleyball.
Broken record, Dave. You're preaching to the choir. This is not a surprise. We've seen it all night.
If you watch this first replay on Saturday, the second replay is the 23rd at 4 o'clock. This one goes into the net. This is a type of match you want to watch not once but twice. And a timeout New Knoxville. Minster with a 5-2 lead. You're watching great tournament volleyball here on NKTelco Sports.
Here's the thing. If you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield, why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Schwederman Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
We are in the fifth and deciding set. We just played a 15. It's always big to get the early lead, and Minster has it at 5-2.
Well, they forced New Knoxville to call a timeout. Coach Webb doesn't want to see her team fall down too much farther. You know, you only, remember, 15 points in the game now, so Minster 10 away, so New Knoxville has to find a quick out here, and give credit to Taylor Hoying, has come in and done some nice job. She's getting opportunities to serve, and she's put some smoke on them, and hasn't played a lot this year, but coming in big time here. And her team giving her the ball to serve, and she continues to send some nice balls over. New Knoxville has to work to keep it alive.
Boimer goes to Heidbrink. Dinks it covered by Beerline. Back set to Doty. There's Hoying with the dig. In the middle, battle at the net. bumped across, pushed across, and Beerline gets the advantage of hitting the net, and it falls.
Well, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. That time, it had probably a 70% chance hitting the tape and going on New Knoxville side. It curls itself over and drops down, and Beerline's having a heck of a night, recording a number of kills.
Good block there by the Rangers. Louth and Schwederman there to block the attack by Heitbrink.
They've double-teamed quite a bit tonight. For Louth, her 6th block. I think 4 of them have come with Schwederman beside her. And the timeout for New Knoxville seemingly has worked, Dave. They're now a 2-0 run after trailing 5-2.
Heitbrink off the blockers. This time it falls. Toby will go back to serve. Number 10, Carly Barhorst, the other middle hitter, substitutes into the front row. Dug by Miller. Schreier has to come a long way. Louth. Dug by Toby. Hit across there by Veriplo. In the middle, dinked by Schwierdeman. Toby will set Boimer on a rare spike. Beerline through the blockers.
She's just got a knack tonight, hitting through the blockers. You said getting either enough spin on the ball or something that her attacks are finding a way to fight through the hands of the Minster defenders.
It's rare her hits are going with nobody touching it.
Right.
She's getting just enough to overpower the spikers. As Shayna goes back to the back row to serve. Dig by Hoying. Heitbrink, that will be in. Went down the line with velocity. If there was chalk on the lines, it would have been flying on that one.
This match started tonight at 6 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. We're going on 2 hours. And here's a point, Dave. 2 hours of solid play, no break.
Other than timeouts and 3 minutes in between.
We think of football, baseball, or not so much baseball, but football and basketball all have a halftime. Give a team to, recuperate a little bit.
I agree. You've made that point a few times, and I agree, especially in this type of that. And the ball never made it hit the antenna.
Yeah, so 2 solid hours. I mean,
I'm tired just watching.
I'm not really tired, but, we've been sitting a long time, and it's like entertaining, but, just sometimes you need a break, and really no chance to make a lot of adjustments other than on the fly.
Miller covered by the Wildcats. There's Heitbrink, never made it across.
And to that point, I know, Dave, the colleges have an intermission. Not for sure it's after the 3rd or 4th game.
I was thinking it's after the 2nd set. I'm not positive, though.
I would envision probably Ohio or the high schools maybe going to that at some point.
So a little bit more of the concession stand, if you would. Right now, back to
Game
volleyball
5 action.
Schreier, nice save there by Hoying. Bumped across by Purdy. Chance for the Rangers. Beerline, back set to Louth, goes long. Tasia Louth, who's had a lot of big hits tonight. That one, too much mustard on it.
One of the rare ones that have flown out of bounds for Louth, but boy, New Knoxville, 4 errors in game number 5. All 4 have been hitting errors. And again, 9-6 your score, first one to 15 by 2, and Minster on top now with the advantage.
Westerbeck substitutes into the front row. Beerline to Miller, dug by Boimer. The free ball to cross, actually hit from the back row by Heitbrink. Schreier blocked back and down. Barhorst is the one hopping around. And we'll have another timeout by New Knoxville. 10-6 Minster in this sectional final. We'll keep it here. We'd like to thank our sponsors once again. Francis Furniture, St. Mary's Trucking, Cy Schwierdeman, West Staff, Radio Hospital, 21st Century Kitchens, Elmwood Assisted Living, Schwierdeman Pharmacies, New Knoxville Supply, Keyhole Pizza, Minster Bank, Minster Data, NKTelco. We will announce a player of the game for both teams. For the New Knoxville player, it's sponsored by Main Street Station. For the Minster player, it's sponsored by McDonald's. We could hand out a lot of awards.
I'd say we might have to go ask these sponsors for a couple more for this game. It's going to be tough. A lot of people have played well, and that's a good thing, that we see that this game is so cleanly played and so well played that You know, the winner tonight's going to earn the district or go to a trip to the districts, but it'll be a tough call for us tonight, Dave.
Whoever loses tonight, the one satisfaction they'll have is they'll know they played a good game. No matter how the last several points go, it's been a great match. We hope you've enjoyed it on NKTelco Sports. It's definitely been our pleasure to be courtside. We're volleyball fans too, and we're just enjoying this.
2+ hours of action here, and Minster with the advantage.
Served by Heidbrink, dug by Schreier. And it's set. The pass took Berline into the net. So now a 12-6 lead. Is that right? I think 11-6. 11-6. 11-6 lead. Here is Heidbrink. Serve dug by Holman. Berline will set. Schreier, she puts it away. Kenzie Schreier elevates as always.
Her first kill of game 5, and for New Knoxville, it seemed like it had taken them a while to get on the offensive here. Once they didn't have any, but just the number of quality attacks wasn't maybe there. Schreier gets a big one, her team down by 4.
Jane serve across. In the middle, Barhorst again. The attack for the middle comes up big for the Wildcats.
5'10" senior again, active tonight, swinging for kills. Also, I believe 8 blocks tonight, termination blocks for Barhorst.
Served by Purdy. They'll set Schreier, partially blocked. Boimer will set Toby. Nice dig there by the Rangers, but they'll have to free ball it across.
Good spot. Nice
Made
play.
him battle for it.
Well, kept it inside the antenna. Good play.
Went over on the second hit. Close to the net. Whipker stayed out of it. They'll set Schreier. Nice dig by Purdy. Nobody can get the second one. Nice volley both ways. Ends up with a Ranger point.
Good play by the Rangers. They stayed aggressive, got the ball in their favor, and just kept going at it. Schreier, her second kill here recently. New Knoxville still down by 4. Minster just 3 points away from the match.
Whipker. Miller, nice try by Schreier, but it goes wide. Minster now to 13. Again, we just played a 15 in game 5, as Sarah Rippler will come into the contest to serve. Winner will advance to a very tough district at Van Wert next week. We will cover that game as well. Bierlein with a point. Shayna Bierlein's come up big all night, and she does once again for her Rangers.
27 kills for Bierlein, and yes, Barry at a big spot in the match. Bierlein comes through. They get a good pass, a good set, and a good finish from Bierlein.
Schreier serve, dug by, and it's dumped there by Boimer, covered by the Rangers. They survived that one. Boimer sets Toby, and that will be in. Paige Toby with another big hammer, and the Wildcats have match point. And in to serve, match point, number 8, Taylor Hoying.
Mentioned she did a nice job earlier in this match, keeping the ball in play with a little bit of smoke. We'll see what happens here at match point.
Dug there by Bierlein. Have to scramble for it, free ball across. Set to Heidbrink, dug by Holman. Over to Bierlein, dug by Heidbrink. Free ball across. Schreier will go to Schwierman, blocked, and the Minster Wildcats prevail in 5 exciting matches. The final scores: Minster wins 22-25, 28-26, 22-25, and then 25-23 in the last set, 15-9. A great match. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll take a break. We will wrap it up and talk a lot about this game when we return on NKTelco Sports.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications? Or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp-to-hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
When you choose Radio Hospital for your wireless needs, you get 13 convenient locations, no waiting and long lines, premier service after the sale, and all the latest technology. With locations in Lima, Findlay, Minster, Kenton, Defiance, Napoleon, Wauseon, Bryan, and Archbold, we are right around the corner from you. Visit us today and experience the Radio Hospital difference. We are simply neighbors serving neighbors, providing a refreshing alternative to high-pressure stores. Radio Hospital is your Verizon Wireless premium retailer.
The Minster Wildcats advance in 5 exciting sets here over the New Knoxville Rangers. As you see the score, some great volleyball action with our final numbers. Mr. Jeff Henshin.
Thank you, Dave. A very offensively minded game. I mean, and the defense was superb as well. For the match, New Knoxville actually outkilled Minster. New Knoxville was 74 kills compared to 62 for Minster. Minster, however, records 18 termination blocks compared to 7. So the blocking advantage by 11 points goes in favor of Minster. Each team recorded 4 service aces. For New Knoxville, Shayna Bierlein led all players tonight with 27 kills, 5 in game 1, 5 in game 2, 6 in game 3, 6 in game 4, 5 in game number 5, a total of 27. Also, Kenzie Schreier, 17 kills, Tasia Louth, 10 kills, Taylor Doty, 9 kills, Jenna Sweeterman with 7 and Ashlyn Miller with 4, once again for their total of 74. And I want to also mention Tasia Louth recorded 7 blocks to lead the Rangers. Sweeterman added 5 blocks. For the victorious Minster Wildcats, leading the way for them tonight was Paige Toby with 19 kills. Also in double figures, Carly Barhorst with 13 kills, Rosie Westerbeck with 10, 4 apiece from Reagan Webker and Haley Boimer for their total of 62. And blocking, I said, seemed to be the key for the Minster Wildcats. Paige Toby, 10 blocks. Carly Barhorst, 8 blocks. 4 blocks from Reagan Webker. 3 from Jordan Heitbrink. 2 apiece from Westerbeck and Boimer. Their total of, again, 18 blocks. So New Knoxville defended about as well as you can on the blocks as well. Minster did good hands. A lot of good volleys kept alive by both teams. And again, a hard-fought game tonight as we expected, and that's what we got.
Yeah, everyone have adjectives to that. That many termination blocks. I don't think I've ever been at a match with that many blocks, but it didn't phase New Knoxville. They still got their kills. They didn't get intimidated by that, and they just went on. It's just a great match. It's a shame. We talked about this. Neither team lost this game.
Correct.
Only Minster won this. And for New Knoxville, it's going to be tough for them. There's been 8 seniors played their last match. Kenzie Schreier, Ashley Miller, Renee Schrolicki, Shayna Bierlein, Jenna Schrideman, Brianna Jarosik, Jana Louth, and Kaylin Janes. Those seniors, congratulations on their career. We wish them the best of luck. We wish them the best of luck the rest of their high school career. Like to do our players of the game. Let's first talk about New Knoxville's player of the game. We'll go with senior Shayna Bierlein.
She dominated the attacking category tonight, 27 kills, also filled in a setter once in a while for New Knoxville. Mentioned all those termination blocks. I don't know how many of hers were terminated, but she was able to get through the block somehow. 27 blocks for Shayna Bierlein with a B. Thank you, Main Street Station, for that award. Also, congratulations to Shayna.
And for Minster, she was big at the net, double digits, a double-double, Paige Toby.
6-foot junior Paige Toby, 19 kills, 10 blocks, and consistent through all the games tonight. What more can you say? We talked about her vertical, hitting downward, tough to stop. Congratulations to Paige, and thank you, McDonald's.
Well, we'll step aside for a little bit, and we'll come back to wrap it up here on NKTelco Sports.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Myring, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on! Set!
Plastic surgery is very expensive today, Coach.
Jet!
Jet?
Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
Welcome back. We're with victorious Coach Cammie Garman. And, Coach, what a match.
Oh, my gosh. We knew it was going to be super tough tonight. You know, we just played them a couple weeks back, and, you know, we felt like we couldn't have played a better game than what we played against them a couple weeks ago, and we knew they were going to make some sound adjustments. They played one heck of a game tonight. I mean, their defense was picking up everything. They didn't make a ton of errors, and you know, I felt like we weren't really 100% all the time, and we somehow, when we needed to, we showed a lot of grit tonight. You know, we dug down and we made plays when we had to, and you know, we were battle tested, and that's really going to help us here going in the rest of the tournament run. You know,
you talk about making the plays down the stretch. At end of the second set, I think you survived, I believe, 3 set points, I believe, in 128-26.
Yeah, we've been in that position before where we've had to fight off multiple set points, so. You know, for some reason, we've been one of those teams that just doesn't seem to faze us. And the girls, they knew what our game plan had to be, and I think they executed it just to a T those last few points.
It seemed like your game plan was to get it to your middle hitters, and, man, they stepped up big, and the blocking was amazing.
Absolutely. We knew when we played New Knoxville a couple weeks back, they really sat on our slides a lot. They really were ready for that defensively. So we really pushed our middles this week, attacking the ball in front of the setter. And I told her, I said, every pass you get, you give it to our middles tonight. I mean, they just were on fire, and I don't think they could have played any better than what they did tonight.
So you go back on next Tuesday, you have to play, but how long are you going to enjoy this one?
I'm going to probably enjoy it until 3:30 tomorrow, until we start practicing again, and we're getting ready for, I'm assuming, Marion. But
yeah, they won.
We'll be enjoying it until then, and then we're going to be pushing ourselves for that next win. We're not satisfied, so.
Good. Well, congratulations. We appreciate you coming over. You've got a lot of fans and parents want to talk to you, so congratulations, Coach. Good luck tournament trail.
Thank you.
Thanks. That'll wrap it up from here. For everyone at NKTelco Sports, thanks for watching.